Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Here we go. Okay, quick and to the point. Today I'm doing a quick video on Alexander Russel Webb. You can see his photo right here. Let me post a link to my essay. Let me post these links around really quick. Yeah, Alexander Russel Webb. What y'all know about that? What do they know about Alexander Russel Webb? So I just posted the link. Let me post the StreamYard so anyone can come. All Islam-hating Qadiani Ahmadis are always allowed. It's not even a big deal. I'm just posting the StreamYard link everywhere. I'm going to post the same thing on Twitter. So Alexander Russel Webb. So I'm going to tell you guys what was going on in the 1880s. This guy's political. And I think he became a Muslim just for political. He wanted to change Islam like Sir Syed. It's a political thing that they were doing here, is to change Islam, make Muslims not believe. So remember, in the Quran, it says Christians are going to be in charge or like dominant in this world until the return of the Messiah, right? In fact, I think it's in chapter 3, verse 55. And it's in some other verses. The Christian governments, and look, it's right in front of us. Christian governments are running the world pretty much. Might as well call them Christian if you're not calling them Christian. So let me just tweet this link here and tell anyone that they can join. But this is basically what I've uncovered, or what I can gather is Christian governments, the British, the Dutch, the French, were trying to change Islam and trying to get Muslims to stop believing in the Messiah, stop believing in a savior. No one's coming to save you. Just go to work, do your job, pick the cotton in India, or whatever this might be. You know, just don't rebel against the British government. Don't rebel against any government. Is technically what they want. So with that bit of an introduction, and I'm just spreading these links everywhere while we do that. So with that bit of introduction, that's what this is about. Alexander Webb. I'm going to show my essay, and I've already done all the work. So let's see. Yep, I think that's spread everywhere. So here we go. So let me share the screen, and I'm going to just jump right into it. Share screen, and then, oh, I got to disconnect this. So hold on just a sec. Let me turn off my camera real quick. Okay. Okay, so here we go. So let me share. Let me try to share the screen again. Yep, and it's one screen. Okay, and it's up now. So here's my essay on Alexander Russel Webb. And he was never an Ahmadi. That's key. So the first link I gave is to his Wikipedia page. But if you look at the sources, Abd-Allah, a Muslim in Victorian America, check that out. Three lectures of Alexander Webb, check that out. I got it all posted. He even wrote letters to the Allahabad Review, wherein he praised Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Check that out. So in 1887, he writes Mirza Ghulam Ahmad these letters. And it's interesting. Let me just scroll down. It's interesting because Mirza Ghulam Ahmad didn't post the first letter. And we always wondered, what's the reason? Why isn't he posting these letters? Or he wrote a summary instead of posting the letter, he gives a summary, right? And as you can see, I got the live links. So look, as you can see, here's the English. It was translated into English. We don't know who translated this. But he writes two letters. The first one is lost by everyone. No one knows where the first one is at all. But this is 1887. And you can see the dates. I got it all laid up so you can access it and understand it easily. So when does he become a Muslim? This is the question. When does Alexander Webb become a Muslim? Is it 1886? So then he arrives in the Philippines, and magically he's a Muslim. Well, who did he say his Shahada in front of? We don't know. There's no witnesses to any of this. So he gets convinced to come to India. And I got a bunch. Look, you can check out Singleton also if you don't know who Singleton is. Yankee Muslim. Trust me, I've went through a bunch of sources. There's maybe a few sources I wasn't able to get to, but for the most part, I got them all. Jane Smith, Islam in America. She argued that he was Ahmadi, and I think she's mistaken. She made a mistake. People make mistakes. I've made many mistakes in this blog. Up to 2,500 essays. There's all kind of mistakes, but I can go back and change it. When it's in a printed book and it's done, and this person has never written about it again, they don't go back and change it. But anyhow, a guy named Robert Dannin, he proves the point. He wrote a book called The Black Pilgrimage. Check that out. He says Webb didn't mention MGA, and that's true. He didn't. Not when in America. He didn't mention Ahmadiyya beliefs or anything. However, and I got a lot of these references from Abd-Allah. So he did mention Jesus in India to the New York Herald, and that's posted in Abd-Allah's book. So that was interesting that, undercover, he might be holding all these beliefs. And, that's the whole thing. His whole thing was undercover. He was pretending to be a Muslim. I think I even read that his wife never converted, even though they lied and said she did. And his children didn't convert either. So it's an entire mystery on this guy. Maybe it was a political move by the U.S. government. We don't exactly know. So anyhow, he claims to have read an announcement about Brahini Ahmadiyya, but he can't read Urdu. So what announcement could he have read? Those announcements were in Urdu, and all the way in America. What did Mirza Ghulam Ahmad do to get circulation in America in the 1880s? It's baffling. It makes no sense. The letters in Shanna Haq are true though, but the first one's missing. And I got that in there. So the Lahore Ahmadis are involved too. There's a guy named Haji Abdullah Arab, and check out Dr. Bashar Ahmad's Mujaddid-e-Azam. He covers the story too. So and this guy Molvi Hassan Ali, they say he was an Ahmadi, but he was dead by 1896, and they still said he was an Ahmadi. So we don't know if he was an Ahmadi or not. But he met up with Webb in India and took him around. They eventually make it to Lahore, and Webb refused to go meet Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. This is 1892 now. So the fact that he refused to meet Mirza Ghulam Ahmad proves that he rejected him. But he was trying to be nice because he was admiring that he was also working for the government. Mirza Ghulam Ahmad was also trying to change Islam, but he didn't like that. There was no reason to make these claims. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was doing already what Mirza Ghulam Ahmad was doing, but Sir Syed Ahmad Khan didn't claim to be the Messiah or a prophet. That's in its own category. So in 1892, that happens, and then he leaves. And then he leaves for America, straight from India. I think he stopped somewhere on the way, maybe Turkey or something like that. But he stopped. He makes it to America. 1893, his famous book comes out, Islam in America. He was also in contact with the Baha'is, and here we go again with the Baha'is. Ding, ding, ding. Maybe the Baha'is and the Ahmadis, it's the same thing. So all of these guys are looking to change Islam to make it more for the colonists to where they could control people. So he was at the Parliament of Religions in 1893. He wrote a book called A Guide to Namaz in 1893. And Dr. Bashar Ahmad, the Lahore Ahmadi, claims that he saw a letter of his in 1906. Not. So remember now, ever since Webb's in America, he goes missing in Ahmadiyya literature. Until 1906, Dr. Bashar Ahmad alleges that he saw a letter by him. Who knows what's in the letter? He's obviously not an Ahmadi. In 1910, the Lahore Ahmadis, well, they weren't Lahore Ahmadis, the Ahmadis at Qadian had Muhammad Ali, who became a Lahore Ahmadi. They had him translate the philosophy of the teachings of Islam, but it wasn't the philosophy, it was just the teachings of Islam, which was not even a true translation of the title. Maybe because they realized how stupid it was. Who knows? I read that book. It's just got no information in it. It's nonsense, total nonsense. But Muhammad Ali translates it into English and gives credit to Alexander Webb for helping him in the translation. But this is another, it's baffling. How could Alexander Webb have helped you translate something into English? Muhammad Ali knew English without anyone's help. So why would you need someone's help? But it's for sure in the preface. and they claim that he says MGA is a man of God. We don't really think so. Maybe Muhammad Ali just, or Muhammad Ali just wrote that name in there just because. Um, so then we don't really hear about Alexander Webb until like the 1920s, or hold on. So it went from 1916, actually 1915. There was a quote that appeared in the review, in every review of religions for 8 years. This is after he dies, or a year before he dies. In 1915, they start posting this quote in the review of religion where he says it's like a good book or something, but they're not elaborating on exactly who he is and what his position is. So then in 1921, he says that Muftari Muhammad Sadiq, who was a total liar, he says that a guy named F.L. Anderson was the first Ahmadi, and he converted in 1901. He gives another fake convert, Dr. Baker, who was dead by that time, I think. And this is what they do. They claim these white converts that didn't convert. Some did, some didn't. Some didn't know what they were converting to. So they were tricking people to say, hey, convert. But what does that mean when you sign a paper? Maybe you joined a club. Maybe that's what they thought. I think it's all a lie, etc., etc. That's basically a story. Here's his photo again. Look, I got free books for download. I got it by year, 1886, where he was at, 1887. Here's some of his letters that I was able to find on the internet, where he was in 1891, where he was in 1892, how he goes through India, how he ends up in Lahore, doesn't go meet MGA. Now he's in America. He stopped in London on the way to America. He writes all these books, but he doesn't mention the controversial issues. See, if you look at these books, he doesn't mention Isa al-Islam. He doesn't mention the finality of prophethood. He doesn't mention the Mahdi. He doesn't mention all the controversial stuff. So it's like, why is he avoiding the obvious? You know, even in the New York Herald, he avoided people. He avoided when people started asking him about his detailed beliefs. So in 1902, the Qadiani Ahmadis are alleging that he wrote a letter to them. And here's the link. Feel free to check this out. They do this a lot. Look, it says right here, the first Ahmadi belonging to America is Alexander Russel Webb. See, this is a lie. This was in the Al-Hakam, 14 June 1920. So now we got conflicting information. Was Alexander Webb the first Ahmadi? Why does this Webb look? Al-Hakam, why did the Al-Hakam say it? Why in the Muslim Sunrise did so remember the Al-Hakam's in Qadian and the Muslim Sunrise is in America. So they're saying someone else, he's saying someone else. This is what I'm saying. It's all a trap. It's all a trap. So in 1903, they claim he wrote another letter. We don't know. Dr. Bashar Ahmad says he saw another letter in 1906. They claim that he wrote when MGA died, that he wrote a letter of condolence, and probably another fake. We don't know. I talked about the 1910 situation. I talked about how in 1915 a quote of his showed up on the Review of Religions, every issue for like 8 years, and then he's dead. He died in 1916. We don't. Muslims didn't pray his janazah, so he was probably a fake. Honestly, from what I can gather, this guy is a fake. In 1923 is the last time he shows up on the ROR. In 1926, the second Khalifa in his book Invitation to Ahmadiyya writes that MGA helped him convert to Islam. It's a lie. That's another lie. These are the lies that they're bringing up. In 1933, there was a second Parliament of Religions event, and Ahmadis were there. They didn't claim them. And then 1943, the Lahore Ahmadis got involved. Look, in the Light, he talked about that it was written by Usman. Maybe this is a Muslim woman. It also appeared in 1944 in the Light. Just stories about Webb. 1988, I have another reference in here. 2016, the Khalifa mentions him. Mirza Masroor says the same thing. He became a Muslim because of MGA. It's a lie. And then In 2021, the Ahmadiyya movement was claiming that he was the first Ahmadi in the USA. Here's the link I showed you earlier. So they're claiming that he is the first Ahmadi in America, and etc. And here's all the sources. That is the story of Russell Alexander Webb. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the BS that's out there. That is truly the story. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Thank you so much for coming. This is just a quick 15-minute video on Alexander Russel Webb, proving he was never an Ahmadi, barely a Muslim. Even his Muslim, the fact that he's Muslim is up for debate. So that's the whole story. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum and peace out.